I can't even believe how much this always just feels like such an outlet to me to be able to come on here and talk. I feel like I'm really sitting around with my friends talking. I love this. But, I hate this shit. it, Yesterday, no sun at all, just a white sky, which I swear to God, I just can't even. It's weird because there's so many people around me who are oblivious to everything, and they don't ever come out and just look. Like, even when these planes are going over, like, I can't even tell you how creepy it is. Like, I feel like we're in an episode of the Twilight Zone, man. It is eerie outside. Like, you go outside and sometimes you'll hear all the birds and stuff, or a lot of noise where people are building things like saws and hammers and shit like that. But there is like this cold stillness. There is something so eerie when you go outside, because I think it's the color, the way this artificial color, it just looks really weird. And then plus, I think I feel so certain that we're being drugged along with poison. And the so I think that does something to us. Like, every time I go outside, which today I really want to try and go outside, because I don't know, whenever I fell, I must have really hurt something, because this is ridiculous at this point. Or it's just because my nerves are so overactive because of the poisons are removing the sheath off of the nerves. I don't know, but this is wacky, man. I cannot believe the pain in my freaking head and shoulder. And I want to go out and rake so bad, but it's the exact muscles. Everything I do, I want to draw. I couldn't paint at my mom's because, of course, it won't stop fucking raining long enough. And it's so cold. Like, if it's wet and cold, the paint isn't even gonna dry properly on outside, So the here I go with my scattered thoughts again. God, it's weird. I really, like, there's something different happening inside of my head. Like, it's weird. I really feel like there is a scramble that they're doing, and it's so loud. And it is so hard to, it's like, and I think it's so much interference. I really, really believe all of this stuff they're doing is to create fear, because they use it they harness the energy and they sell it to other beings, or they let them just suck it out of us with this luge or something. I don't know all the weird shit going on, but I do know that there's weird shit going on. And so I don't know if... but for sure they're trying to create fear. But I think it goes along with the low vibration, because if you are just fear, you are not healing. You're not looking past your fears. You're not trusting. You're not having faith. So it's like the opposite. You're going the opposite, and that's what they want. Because that is what keeps you easy to control. It keeps your soul asleep. And you can tell, like, people you talk to now, like, you can tell people's souls are just like asleep. It's like their avatar is just going, because that connection is disrupted, because they're using the frequency and the chemicals and all of that stuff to keep us controlled and compliant. And I mean, there's no way it's not going to work. I mean, it's going to go down. Like, everything is going to change. They can't control it because it's a cosmic event, but they're sure giving it hell. And it's killing people, like, by crazy numbers. Like, they are, it's just mass slaughter. And they think that they're tricking us. Like, we're not, like, we're just all oblivious still. It's like, no, we're watching, and this is sick. But they like that because they want us to feed that energy of fear. And so that is the part, to me, of where you've got to raise your consciousness, get to that point of, okay, remember, this is a movie. This is not real in the sense of what we've been taught is real. This isn't real. There's nothing that is real like what they've told us. Everything that a consciousness does is just like being in a dream. You just go into different realities. I saw this lady explain it really good this morning. You know, I always do it like a multiplex theater with all different movies going on. So all different realities happening, all different lives, all different soul groups living and playing things out. And she was triggered, which it is very triggering, the arrogance behind some of these people with their spirituality. You know, it is, they just go straight into arrogance. It's like we're breaking the paradigms down of ego and arrogance that have been used against humanity for so long. And they are just carrying it with them. Like, oh, look what I got. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's right there. You're just exposing, you're showing what is real inside of you. Ego and arrogance, and I'm better than you. And it's, especially because so many people are leaving this system as feeling defeated and unrecognized and all of that. So it's, you know, when you go into something and you're like, oh, this is real. Oh, I'm so excited. I know, you know, it does bring some arrogance and some ego to the surface. But when it does, that's what you need to do to recognize, like, because really spirituality is all about humbling yourself, being in service of others, knowing your place, knowing that it is kind of like the dominoes, you know, and knowing that you are one of the dominoes, knowing your place, knowing how it all works together. That's what spirituality is all about. But so this woman was really triggered because this girl, I didn't see the whole clip. I just saw the part, I think it was a stitch or something where she took a bit out of this girl's video, and then she acknowledged or responded to it, or used it as a platform, like, so she could say what she wanted to say. And so this girl, she was saying like, I'm all you people, something about all you people living in 3D, you know, like 5D is where I'm at, and you know, everything's going great. I don't really get what's going on with you guys, or something along those lines. Not exactly, because remember, everything you hear is an interpretation. You can hear one statement and 100 people say they heard something different. It's all the words and our dialect, our mood, our every presentation of how we present words has an effect. Like the words are being used against us. So anyways, she, this woman, when she responded to this girl, she was like, I'm really, you know, sick of you spiritual people who are coming and saying like, oh, I'm in 5D now. And so she was trying to tell them, you are not, you are right here with us. You're in the same place you always were. And so she used the analogy of the Titanic and all the different levels of the Titanic and the different experiences that were going on the Titanic, to give you a different reality from someone else. Like the uppers and the lowers had very different reality of what was going on the boat, right? So she was talking about that. And she said, but we're still all on the same boat. So no matter what, your arrogance and that creates division when you start being like, I'm better than you because I'm doing this. But I love how she was like, we're still on the same boat. When the boat goes down, it's still going to affect you. You're not somewhere different. You're in the same place. And that is absolutely true. The whole thing to me about this 3D, 4D, 5D stuff that people keep getting into, that they keep, like, to me, when I hear them talk, I always think like they think they're going somewhere different or something. Like, it's weird. But to me, it is a state of mind. It is how you look at things. Do you look at things like this is all there is? This is, because that's 3D thinking. This is all there is. This world is what they tell me, all of the whole thing, and this is real life and all that. That's 3D thinking. When you can step back from that and you can acknowledge that it's a projection and you are here about learning and stuff, that moves you into like fourth dimension of how you perceive. It's all about how you perceive and releasing judgment. That's how you move up. You can't move up just because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have a soul. Oh, I'm now living in 5D. No, the only way you can release it as an actual thing you have to do. You have to release pain and suffering. You have to release connection to these old paradigms. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like these people who think like, I became spiritual and a week later, I'm leading the path. I'm telling you guys what to do. It's like, what have you healed? What have you accomplished in your spirituality that you are ready to share? Because really, it's just clogging up the system. Because there is a lot of us out here who have been going through stuff. And we know that this is for everybody's going through stuff. And so any of us that can hold a light on the path that we walk to heal. Because this is all about resilience. This is about our soul growing. This is a soul's journey. This is about expansion. And these people who get so caught up in this other, it's all about ego, and it's going to hold them back. Yesterday I did a bunch of videos because I usually don't, like there's certain people on TikTok and they just answer questions all day long. They're just in conversations, answering questions. And when you answer someone's question, it gives you a good opportunity to, say how you see things, right? So one of them was this old guy, and these people were actual people because I could go, sometimes people say stuff to you in the comments and I'll go and look, is this a real person? Like a real person thinks this? Like I'll go and look, and then a lot of time you can't tell because they have 0 likes. They're following like 3,000 people. They've got 100 followers, and and they're just rude as shit. Well, a lot of times that's a bot, but a lot of times I have found there's actual real people behind those that are just out there just surfing the web, looking for stuff. But they're also carrying that energy of like argumentative. And so this guy, I had done some video. Oh, I can't remember what it was. It would have been something about the awakening, I'm sure. And so he started telling me, he left me a whole bunch. I had a few people yesterday, they just leave me like a whole bunch of comments. Like they're just going in, So I'm reading them and I'm like, dude, I'm not in alignment with you, dude. And I'm really trying to use my awareness is when I see other people out there saying their stuff, that I don't go in and start attacking their perspective. Just leave it be. And so that is where I felt like he was coming in and attacking mine. And I'm trying to really be aware of that because I don't want to do this to anybody else. Everybody's perspective is valid. I did see one girl yesterday, and it was something about the thing that's going to go on in November and something they've already got going. Oh, because they already put out the numbers of how big the Dems are going to win this November. They've already got the numbers out. Like they're letting us know, hey guys. And so you get all these people who are awakened to that aspect of this reality. And they go fucking crazy. There's still so many that are just libs. It's like, it's the same people on both sides. Like, what are you talking about? It's like the same team. It's like the Skins playing the what are those called when the football, one of them takes off their shirts and skins? That's all it is. It's the same fucking team. So so she had said, like, we got to get this, or I think she just posted the thing. I think that, and she might have had some words up there. But anyways, so I commented and I said, we've got to stop voting. We've got to, I don't want to be governed. I don't need to be governed. We got to stop voting. We got to take a stand. Like, and there's this guy who is just constantly, he just keeps commenting and commenting. He's really trying to, enlighten me, really help me to see like how important it is that we all get out there and vote. Otherwise, there's going to be all libs. Like, it's important. We don't just pretend like we don't need to vote and all this. It's like, dude, you're not hearing what I'm saying. at all. Like, people are not hearing what I'm saying because they are translating it into an understanding that they have of how to maintain the three-dimensional paradigm. It's like, no, that ends. Being governed ends. There is no being governed. You're not a sovereign soul if you are being governed. We are moving into sovereignty. We are moving into freedom. It is a self-governing system. That is why you have to heal. That is why you have to go through all of this. So you get to that place of compassion, empathy. You don't need to be governed. You got it inside of you. It's all turned on. It's all lit up. That's the DNA that is coming to life. It is our connection, our truth. It's written inside our soul. We don't need to be governed. Being governed is following their rules. And you can't get people, like, they're desperate. Please, please govern me. Please tell me what to do, God. You know, it's like, come on, people. Jesus Christ. You have fucking freedom and you're begging someone to tell you what to do with it. It's like, wake the fuck up. God, it's irritating. I'm telling you, these people who get so irritated by people who are not seeing the truth on this, not seeing the truth on that, it's like, motherfucker, do you know how many things you are stuck on this one thing? You are in your awakening. You think, oh, you've got all the answers. You're stuck in government and that's as far as you've gotten. It's like, it is way, way more than that. Like, wake the fuck up. Keep on going. Don't get stuck. But they want to just hold you back. No, this is right here. We got to focus on this. We got to do something about it. It's like, we got to let go of it. That's what we got to do. Let go of it. This is ending. It's over. You want to hold on to it, then you're going to be back holding on to it in that group because it's not going forward. I don't know how all of that goes down, but definitely that's not going there. Like, I don't know how to get it across to people. You have to let go of these patterns and waking up and going straight into arrogance and ego because now you're better than everybody. That's going to hold you back. That is not going to move you forward. The world, the cosmos, the universe is going to continue giving. I know, got myself all worked up. I'm sweating. The universe is going to continue giving you these opportunities to see yourself, to grow. But you have to look at yourself. But if you're so busy looking at everybody else, then how are you going to see yourself? So, you know, but that right there, that is why I say this, we got a ways to go, people. We got a ways to go. Like, this isn't going to happen quick. Like, I swear, I really, really thought this was going to be so fast. Yeah, I don't see it at all that way. I see it as this is going to keep going slow as fuck. And, but that woman with the Titanic thing, I thought that is brilliant because no matter what it is, when this world goes down, that is what you have to see. And if you do see, then it is our duty to help others see, not to just go and hold them down, you know, or clockwork orange them, tape their eyelids up and show them this is what's happening. No, just be aware, be knowledgeable in your own, you know what you're talking about when you're talking to somebody, and just drop seeds, drop hints. When somebody says something about this fake world, give them clarity. You don't have to give them a lecture. You just have to say what you see. Say, well, that's not what I see. I see blah, blah, blah. And leave it. Just leave it. Because the universe is working in all of us. We don't have to use our arrogance like, oh, well, we got to fix them. You know, and I learned that hard because when I started waking up originally and I started trying to tell people, and it was crazy because at the time when I was waking up, it was very much this event was hanging over us, this solar event. It hasn't happened yet, but something is going to happen. A huge cosmic cataclysmic event will happen. And I think it's going to have to do with the solar flash. But I see it differently now than I saw it before. When I very first woke up, I was scared shitless. I was like, oh my God, I got to save everybody. And I'd start trying to tell people. And I mean, I was when I really, really started hearing about how crazy I was. You know, everybody thought I was crazy. I went out to lunch with somebody, started telling her And, she was just like looking at me like I was a complete crazy person. Left lunch. I have never heard from her again. So it is, people just don't see. It's so hard to see what people don't see. But so that was going for years. And then even in 2020, when I saw what was going on, and I knew that we were in the thing that I had been telling people that was going to happen. Like, we were going to go into this time of, there was going to be tons of natural disasters. There was going to be tons of death and suicide. There was going to be tons of crises. There was going to be horrible natural disasters. And it was going to be all these come to Jesus moments. It was going to be this big awakening. And I was talking about that back then. So in 2020, when stuff started going down, because even in 2016, when people were freaking out, like, oh my God, I cannot believe, in my crowd, I'm sure in other people's crowds, everybody had their own crowd. But in mine, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's president. We're ruined. We're ruined. And I kept saying, well, this is what has to go down. Shit has to go down. I mean, we're headed in a bad direction. Things have to change. And this is what the world needs then, because it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. Like, I already knew all of that stuff, even in 2016. But 2016, I thought it was just more still of the, going in that direction. Was 2020 is when I saw, like, oh, this is going down. This is it. This is what's happening. And when I started trying to tell people, I still get it. Like, oh, you've been talking about this forever and nothing's happened. It's like, I keep trying to point it out to you. Shit is happening every day. Like, what are you talking about? Everything I've talked about has been happening. How do you not see it? Like, what are you looking at that you do not see what I'm talking about? I still have people in my family in total deep denial. So deep denial. But I do see that there is an open window. But this past time, the first time when I was there and I kept saying things, I felt like it was kind of going in. This time, I felt like there was a lot more resistance. And so I didn't, I just said my little things, like every time, like, go outside. Oh yeah, well, this is poison. The rain. Oh, this is artificial. This is technology. The government's doing this. I just kept saying stuff like that. And, I'm not going to try and convince them, but it's going to go in, it's going to sit there, and then they're going to hear somebody else say something that they respect, somebody else say something that makes sense to them, and then it all unfolds, and all of a sudden you've got just like a huge amount of information that unlocks in your brain. It just takes out one little prick hole, but everybody, you are filled with all of these little seeds. And then once somebody does the little prick in there that releases all the information, it's like a watering can, it just sprouts. And all of a sudden you've got, all this information you're processing and you're trying to understand a whole new concept to the world. And I know that's going to happen with all of the different people. It's going to continue happening. And people who are all caught up in, like, they are better than somebody else, they've got a lot of stuff to face. A lot of people have a lot of stuff to face. And they're just wanting to point at everybody else and not look at their own self. So that one guy yesterday, he started telling me that I was low vibration. He was so arrogant and condescending the way he talked down to me too. And I went on and looked at him, and I was looking at him, I was like, dude, what? And then I didn't even go in and watch all his videos, but I was just, I don't know. You get a vibe sometimes where it's like, what? And so he is, giving me the lowdown, telling me what's up. And, that's what's up in your reality. Your reality is not my reality. I'm living my own reality. I'm living my own purpose. Like, I have a connection to my higher self, and they tell me, oh, do this, do that, go do this, go do that, pick that up, do this, do that. Sometimes, lately especially, I have been with telling them I feel kind of like an adolescent myself, because they'll say, do this, do that, go get that. Oh, don't forget, you need that with that. You better grab a napkin, you're going to get messy. And so I'm like, okay, you guys, I'm going to make a decision for myself here. I'm not going to just do it because you told me to get a napkin. I'm just going to go right over here and I'm just going to eat without a napkin. So, I start eating and right away it's on my thing. And I'm like, okay, I know I needed a napkin. But I have been very much like, I'm not going to just do something just because y'all tell me. Like every time you tell me to do something, I'm not going to just go do it. I got to also make decisions for myself, right? So I'm in this part with my guidance. Like, I hear you. I know you're telling me do this, do this, do this all the time. But am I supposed to just be compliant to you? Am I supposed to break free for myself? Am I making decisions for myself? Like, what does this all mean? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with mine, is like those kinds of conversations. Like, am I supposed to just be completely obedient because you tell me to do something? Am I supposed to be becoming sovereign? Is my own state of being? Am I supposed to just listen to you? Am I just considering what you say? You know, that's where I'm at with mine. You know, everybody's at their own place with theirs because we are all unique. We're all here to go through something different. We're not here to all go through the same thing. In me speaking out like this, it has something to do with my karma, my contracts, all of that. It's not just like, you know, one day I just get up and I'm like, because I swear I have had people, when I started doing this and I started telling people, like, I'm doing this because they tell me to do this. They're telling me what I'm supposed to be doing and I do it. People don't understand that at all because they don't hear them talking as much as I do. People think it's weird that I have conversations with these people that they can't see. Well, these people have been alive to me my whole life. I've been talking to them my whole life. So they're very real to me. I'm not, you know, so, what was I going to say? Wait a second. Let me catch up because it was something. So when, oh gosh, dang it. Okay, I'm going to go back to that guy. So that guy, he starts telling me that, and I get this all the time, trying to get people to wake up, have people be awareness. I'm creating negative fear. I'm creating this, and because I'm creating my own reality. I'm creating fear, and then I'm putting it in other people. And so I'll go in, like, I'll get this stuff. I'll be like, I don't look at things like you. I look at awareness as empowerment. I don't look at it as being fearful. I look at it as empowerment. Like, you've got to see who's poisoning you. You have to see the truth of this world. Like, that's the only way moving forward, in my opinion, is to see the truth and make decisions for yourself and have awareness of this world. And so these super spirituals, they come in to tell me, you know, like, well, you're creating your own world. And they're so arrogant. Oh, God. I wish I could just repeat it word for word because I know it just sounds like I'm being like, you know, social media dramatic or something, but I'm not shitting you. They come at you so full of themselves. And what irritates me, and this is where I go into ego, where I've got to, you know, reel it back in, is when I've been doing this stuff for 40 fucking years. And then you're going to come out, you just learned about that you have, I don't even know. I swear, I'm really curious at this point. I really wish some of these super spirituals would come in and tell us what it is. What is it you learn? What is it you practice? What is it you believe? Like, I don't get it. I'm really curious. So but to me, so he's coming in with his arrogance, telling me, you know, like, I'm doing all of this stuff wrong. And, you know, he knows, but, you know, you'll get it. When you're ready, you'll get it. Or something like that. Like, dude, we are not in the same fucking... I have a different purpose than you. If your purpose is to ignore people and to let them all die and then sit back, you know, on your fucking recliner, I guess you should have been smart as me, right? Like, that's weird to me. That's weird. So, for one thing, I don't really have anything in common with you to talk to you. I didn't say that stuff, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's weird. And so, you know, I just said, hey, I said my thing, but I went in and I did several of these voice videos, like responses. So like right now, there's tons and tons of people who are going on and responding and about people being asleep. And there's so many people who I still have family and people at work, people they know. All these people are asleep and people are, super concerned and super worried because people who are asleep don't even realize that we're in the middle of this food situation. They are oblivious to it. My mom was talking to one of her friends, one of them that's deep in, and she was oblivious. She had no idea that anything. Mom was saying some stuff about the food or something, and she's like, "Oh no, that won't happen. Oh, that won't happen. Oh my God, Nancy, you just worry about things." That is where those people are. They don't. It's like, I'm not worrying about shit. It is not me worrying that's creating this. Look around you. Look at the shelves at the store. Look what people are talking about. Turn off your goddamn TV and listen to what people are talking about. Like, actually listen to what's happening. And one thing that I have seen on there too is like, oh my gosh, the amount of people now sharing sky stuff and the spraying and stuff. Like, there's a lot of awareness, and it just keeps growing and growing because more and more people go right in and share it. I think it's kind of like, because it's kind of nerve-wracking when you go in and you start talking like this on any of the things, TikTok or any of the things. It's really nerve-wracking when you first start. You have to really work on getting more comfortable talking to a camera or something and forget about it. Just be yourself. And so it is, it's kind of hard to do in the beginning. But now I'm seeing that there's so many people sharing sky ones, and I thought that's really an easy little segue in. Like, you're showing that, and then pretty soon you're telling people your opinions about it. So it seems like a lot of people are starting to share that. And so the more people that share it, the more that's going to grow, the more people who are going to see it. It just keeps going and going, just like that Clairol commercial where they told two people and they told two people and they told two people. So they can't stop what's going on. It's impossible because it's an action. It's a cosmic reaction. It's a change in the entire reality. But anyways, I don't even know. I think I've just been talking about the fact with the people who are just so caught up in ego and arrogance that they're not even moving forward. Like, to me, everything about your spiritual awakening should be about humbling yourself, seeing yourself as not being better than others, to see like arrogance and ego is what keeps us divided. And you have to break those things down. You have to find that balance inside of yourself to be able to be strong and stand up for yourself, but also be true and not be, overly sensitive, but overly aggressive towards somebody. Like, you have to have this balance of assertiveness, independence, compassion, empathy. What is that? This believing in yourself, not looking outside of yourself for somebody to say you're right or wrong. Especially right now. I mean, there's so much division that just keeps coming to the surface. You're more than likely you're going to get hit with a lot of snotty comments over a lot of supportive ones. That there is, I feel like I get on TikTok, on all of my stuff, I feel like I get mostly supportive comments. I think most people are more supportive like that. On TikTok, there is some like yesterday where the one guy creeping in and just kept saying all that stuff. And there was somebody else. There was a couple of people who were just like, I tried to wake them up, fuck them or whatever. And I just have a completely different attitude. And maybe it is because I have so many people that I love that are asleep, that it gives me the compassion. And I understand them on a deeper level. I know that if they knew what was going on, they would have a very different attitude. and I feel the empathy of what it's going to be like when they wake up to the truth. It's going to be hard because every single one of these people are deep in their ego and their arrogance. You have it with so many people, the spiritual, all of that, all of the people, wherever they got stuck. Okay, so everybody's awakening to different things. And some people get really stuck on certain things. The government, the medical, the schools, there's everything. And then they just get stuck there. Well, when this happens, whatever is going to be this eye-opening event for everything, that will show them that they're stuck. It will show them all of the rest of the stuff. Like they will have to humble yourself to get into the next thing. It even says in the Bible, this is one thing that always stuck with me because I always knew it was true, was it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go through the gates of heaven or something like that. And it is because of their allegiance, their alliance is towards money. It's not towards soul and towards others. So that's the difference, and so that is an important, vital thing to your soul, to your awakening, to your enlightenment, is that releasing, it's the compassion for one another. It's the releasing judgment as well. You can't be judging other people. You have to see other people as an extension of self learning a different lesson. So now what I do all the time, like I can see people and I can, like I said, it's weird because I started seeing people like my own face on people. And then it is all about them having to release whatever is holding them back. What was it? There was something else I was going to say. That is not what. There's just, I feel like there's so many things for me to talk about, but it keeps being like really swirly feeling in my head. And I keep getting these weird band headaches and then whatever this muscle spasm thing is. And I really want to go outside and I want to rake again. And it's, of course, all of these same fucking muscles to rake that I injured, I guess, the other day. But, and the weather's so shit. And I know that they're spraying shit on us when it's like this. Like, so you want to go outside and and this is fucking June. Like, shouldn't there be like this big bright sun coming in? It's a June morning and there's no fucking pine needles on my goddamn trees, so it should be coming in bright. Never comes in. It is, this is just, everything is just so ridiculous. It just weirds me out that people don't see it. Weirds me out that planes go over us in this eerie, creepy thing in the weird colors and stuff, and people don't come out and look up. They don't even pay any attention. Like, it's really weird. It's really creepy. And I really wonder what is going to be the thing that gets people to start paying attention. And yesterday I even started thinking, is it going to be the food thing? Like, are we seriously going to have to go through this food situation to wake people up? Like, come on, man. Like, oh God. And it's all about consciousness. It's all about the consciousness, that is holding on so tight to not let go. But like these people who are oblivious, are we going to have to go through and watch, this situation play out? I hope not. I feel more hopeful, with Putin making threats again that will go in that direction. I hope, because like I do not want to go through this whole food starvation situation to wake people up. It's like, oh my God, this is fucked. Like, so fucked. There's so many things that are so fucked with us. To be going through so many things, nonstop poisoning, the resource shortages, all of the stuff. I'm so fucking sick of it. But, if that is what we have to go through, then, there's something is going to turn things around. Something is going to wake all these people up. I think it's going to be abrupt. I think it's going to be something big, not just more of this long drawn out shit. But do we have to go through more of this long drawn out shit before something big happens? And I don't know. That could be. I've been hopeful the whole time, like something big was going to happen real quick. Like, oh, we're right there. Anything can happen. And people feel it. People feel the buildup. And now is it people are just feeling their souls coming to life and realizing how this place isn't real. Like they're just getting a new perspective on things. And so everybody feels like something big is coming. And I know something big is coming in. I know that is in everybody's soul, but it may not be as close as we think. Maybe we do have to go through these food shortages and power outages. I mean, it's already happening. I've seen footage of Walmart completely empty, but people being in there as they're emptying it. And they yellow taped everything off. Then they just start taking the food. I think if you went to the Walmart dumpsters right now, you'd probably find so much food in them. They just are just throwing away food. And, that's corporate control. And when they want us to do something, they'll show us, like, you will do what I say. You will not eat. So that is the point of having some emergency food to me, is when they start coming and saying, oh, you want to eat? Well, you better take a couple of these. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. They just want us to jump through hoops for resources. Fuck off. You don't own these resources. You don't own this earth. As a matter of fact, you are the problem to the earth. The earth wants rid of you. You're the one poisoning it. You're the one destroying it. The earth is getting rid of anything. It's getting rid of you, motherfucking parasites. So that, and that is happening. That is happening. That is the change. Those people do not have the vibration to create or to move us into a new state of being. They're trying to hold us into a prison, this prison reality where you just do what you're told. And you like it. You better like it. If you complain, then, they make it worse for you. So, anyways, it seemed like, so I wanted to say about the food thing, the sky thing. There was, I saw this guy, the money thing. He was talking about, because it's all crashing, right? It's still going slow as fuck. It's been crashing a long time. But there was a big jump or something. And he said when that happens, that is the rich people, it's like they all make a run on the banks. And they all get their money and shift it to somewhere else. So all of them got their money and, buying land as fast as they could. Or something that has something more value. Because the money has no value. I did see something interesting, though, yesterday. It might have been with these ones, with the money thing. But it was something, it was this guy. And I wasn't really sure because the cryptocurrency thing is so easy to be manipulated. But he said something about, moving off of the fiat onto the NFT, onto the blah, 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 something else after the NFT will move us into the jubilee. And so then I was like, well, there's probably some of these cryptocurrencies. But I know that the one that is going to be the one that is going to be the jubilee is called the quantum. It's a quantum money system. Everything is going to be quantum that we're moving into. But see, people have to awaken to be able to even access certain parts of themselves. So, and they have to heal to access these. And we're still going. So, and it's going slow as fuck. That's what I'm saying. It's going to take a while. So he was... because I kept thinking the NFT was just another scam. So I don't know what the deal is. But so this guy was saying they're making a huge run on the money and it is going to collapse everything because they're pulling all theirs out. Well, and they're buying things, and which is smart. That's what everybody should do, is you use whatever you have of money and buy something real, something solid, something you can touch. And because the money is paper, and as long as they're letting us use paper to buy something with value, take advantage of it, man. So, because that's going to end, and when it ends, it's all going to be kind of like musical chairs, who's left standing and who's sitting pretty. So, but there's not going to be a concern. Like, we're not going to go into a time of poverty because all of this gold that they have stolen from people and hoarded is going back to the people. So that's the jubilee, where when the money goes back to the people. And it won't, I think there'll be some in people's accounts probably, but I think a lot of it is going to go back into building community. Like, there's going to be tons of money if you move out into a small community and you get a huge amount of people, and you guys want to put in some buildings or something that is good for all the people, like a social center and a giant community garden. Like, that money will be there. I think they're going to be giving away land. Like, when the homesteading happened, I think that there's going to be definitely cheaper land. I think it's all going to be, everything is going to go towards this time of integrity. Not like, oh, I want 30 acres so I can tell everybody I have 30 acres. No, if you can't handle 30 acres, you're not going to have it. If you're not going to do something productive, there's somebody else who could have that would be productive. It's not about what do I have anymore. It's going to be about what can I do? How can I take care of myself? How can I help others? We're going into this time of unity and community. And if you aren't in that headspace, that's what all of this stuff is happening, so that it can move you into this headspace. Because there is still so much division, even when people are awakened. They just go to still stay in that paradigm of division. I'm better than you. But the way they come in, and I told that guy, I'm not coming into yours and telling you that you need to do something different, but you're doing that to me. You're coming into me and telling me I'm doing the wrong thing. I need to do something different. Well, I have a strong belief and I will listen to my soul. I'm not going to listen to your guidance. Your guidance is for you. It's not for me. My guidance is telling me to do something different. And that's where people have to realize we all have our own unique guidance. We are all here for our own unique, I almost said experiment, our own unique experience. Like, there's a purpose to everything, and there's no accident. There's nothing accidental about what is happening or about the earth. Just me moving my head, just doing this, it just goes so deep into the spasm. Fuck. Oh my God, I wish I could just get it to stop. I don't know what the fuck. Ugh. I do not like to not feel good. I like to go, do things. And feel good. So this is especially when you do so much stuff to take care of yourself and try and be healthy and take care of yourself so that you can feel good. And then you get knocked with this. And this right here, this is one of the things too, is when all of this stuff started and I started being anti-hospital. And I mean, this is places where I worked. So, and then I became like, fuck them. Fuck that. And I'm seeing so many more medical professionals be called out by people when they're online lying, and so many more other professionals coming out and speaking the truth. Because I think there's so many that they can't, there's something going on. Either censorship is getting where there's so many people speaking out they can't keep up, because there's such a difference in amount of information. Because during 2020, it was really like the censorship was over the top. You couldn't say shit. You'd lose an account. You couldn't say anything. And so people are like, I can't believe some of the keywords I've heard over and over and over, and they still have their accounts, even though a lot of these people, when they woke up and started speaking out, that they started losing their accounts. But it's like, well, you're saying some words that you're not allowed to say. But there's so many now, I think that they just can't keep up. But anyways, what was I gonna say? But just the whole thing with the poisons, what is happening with all of it, that just, to me, that is the part that just really gets me down. And it seems like the more this hurts, it's weird, I don't know how this is happening, but the more this hurts, like when I move and and it shoots this thing, it like goes up in my eyes and it pulls, and then I can't see. It keeps like pulling, so it's making my eyes worse with this pain, which to me, then that is something, some chemical thing happening inside of my body or something. I don't know. I'm sick of the physical ailments. That's for sure. I'm sick of oh, but when it very first happened, then and I started seeing the hospitals as a place you don't want to go. That is I started being like, oh man, I don't even really want to go out and just drive somewhere because there's all these wacky people out here, and somebody hits you. And I've seen crazy driving shit, like crazy, like what is going on with these people? They're just endangering everybody. Are they clueless? Like, what's happening? The dangerous passing and stuff. It's weird, especially like driving across the state. It's hours and hours. You got nowhere to go. It's completely open. Like, what is your fucking hurry? It's weird. Like you gotta pass people in this dangerous way to get where. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, so when I started noticing, I didn't want to go to the hospital and people are really wacky out, then I started being like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go out and get in a car wreck. And then especially if you're unconscious or something, and they just take you out and they take you up to one of those places and you wake up in one, I was like, oh my God, what a fucking nightmare. So I was like, I don't even want to go out. That's the last place I want to go, is to a fucking hospital. And so, falling the other day, and it didn't even hurt at first, my knee, which my knee is so, it's the hugest bruise going across the whole thing now. But, I didn't feel this other thing when I fell, but it just, again, it makes me feel like, man, if I would have fallen right then and hit my head and been knocked unconscious and taken to the hospital, like anything could happen and get you in one of those places. And I don't want to go to one of those places. And I know it sounds kind of paranoid and kind of crazy, but I just have this huge awareness of like, oh my gosh, it's just part of the programming. Something happens to you and people just send you automatically to the hospital. The hospital is the fucking giant ass gas chamber in this current reality. So like, I don't know. It just, that keeps being on, that's been on my mind for a while. Like, I do not want to get sent to one of those. And it just seems like, man, anything that can happen at any time. And then somebody can send you to one of those. And then it's like you're in the snake pit. And depending, like, they have so much control and power. Like, you start saying anything, they can say, well, she's talking crazy and we're going to put a hold on her. They can lock you up. They can, man, anything. They can red tie you. So she just killed herself. We don't know. We tried to stop her. She just wouldn't stop. She just kept talking crazy. It's like, I just want to stay here in my little safety where, but I guess something happened last night or something, and they said they were going to take somebody's weapons from him, and they just had to kill the guy. I mean, what else are they going to do? So I guess that's probably starting now. Well, we'll just see. I mean, every soul has their own distinct, unique purpose and plan for this situation. And it's real easy to get caught up and think, oh my God, that guy got shot. Oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, that happened. Oh God, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Just like me being paranoid about the hospital. I've got to release that. We can't sit here and think just because something happened to one person, it's going to happen to all of us. That's their own, experience. It doesn't mean it's just going to go out and happen to everybody, but there could be several people that are going to go through that same experience to wake people up in their orbit, Like a dad can easily, exit stage left so that his family wakes up. But that doesn't mean that they are never going to meet up again, because whatever's going to happen, something's going to happen that is going to bring everything into balance. We're just in this period of time right now where it's all out of balance. It's all scattered. It's just all going crazy. But then it will go and we will reach a point of balance. But it is us. We are the creators of the chaos. And it is they're dumping whatever on the ant nest, and the ants are all going crazy, going in different directions. Once we understand what's happening and we all get on going in the same direction, it's going to change things, and it's going to bring things into balance. But there's a lot of stuff that people have to heal individually. And so again, I think we've got some time that we're going to be doing this. I think every single person is going to end up finding that they are helping others to go through the situation. Because even people who are listening to me, like, there's going to be people you're going to have to be helping, as far as I'm concerned, because this is going to keep going and going. Like, we got ways to go, is what I'm seeing now. I hope something big is going to happen real quick, and it's going to change things and put things in the other direction. But even once it goes in the other direction, there's so much healing. There's so much stuff with balance. I mean, you got people who are religious who are all like, "Oh, you're stupid. You don't listen to the word of Jesus." You got people who are spiritual. "Oh, you're not in the 5D." You got people like, they're just all have gone into more arrogance and more ego. So that's what I'm saying. When you pay attention to the temperature of the room, when you look around and you see what's going on, and you see like, "Whoa, we got a ways to go on this thing." Like, people really, really don't just keep moving. They get someplace that feels comfortable and they go, "Hey, I'm better than you still. I'm way better than you." Like, no, that's what's got to go away. Nobody's better than anybody. We are all the same. We're all souls. This has nothing to do with anything. It's something everybody has to see. It's the great equalizer that is happening on this planet. So anyways, hopefully something I said made sense. It seemed like there was some more stuff. There's the one guy, he was talking, the money guy. I saw another one of his videos that popped up, and he was in New York in a CVS, and he was in a long line. Everybody's waiting to pay. Somebody goes in, gets a big shopping cart, fills it up, and just walks out the door. So everybody in line starts going, "Aren't you going to do anything?" to the cashier. And the cashier's just like, "No, we're not allowed to. I'm not allowed to do anything." And they're like, "Well, call the police. Can't you call the police?" And they're like, "No, we're not allowed to." And so he starts saying, "Well, why in the hell are we all standing in line and waiting to pay? All we got to do is just walk in and take shit." And then he was saying, like, about stuff going on. But see, it is this lack of integrity. This lack of integrity is what keeps people in greed, and that is resetting the moral compass. It's, even if you can go in, this is what I've said so many times, even if you can go in and steal something, to go in and take it, there is always someone watching. When you put things out of balance, you're the creator of that out of balance. You're the one who has to put it back into balance. So no matter what, even if it seems like big deal, I'm going to just go in and take a cart of stuff and leave with it because, everybody else is, then, but still you're putting something out of balance, because all of that stuff was purchased or whatever, and then you go and take something right there, it goes out of balance. Like, I don't know how to explain it to make sense, but it is important to just not do something just because you can. Just because you can go in and steal something doesn't mean you should. And I know a lot of people are really pushed into desperate times right now. That's why everything has to do with intention. It has to do, like, if you're starving and you've got nothing and you go in and you steal a loaf of bread, that is a different intention than just going in and doing something because you can. Oh, well, I could go in and take a TV. I could go take a laptop right now. They're not going to do anything. I could just go take it. Then you're putting things out of balance for yourself, because we're just not, I don't know how to explain that. Maybe I can explain it better later. But there is a whole thing, like, everything is about this moral compass, this integrity, this ethical behavior, our morals, all of that coming to light. That's why we won't need to be governed, because it's coming to the surface. It is like him talking about that was like such a perfect thing. I thought he was so great to make that point to people of like, you know, and to add in about integrity and stuff. But people have to see, like when we go out and we do shitty things, it puts everything out of balance. You know, just like these guys who, you know, they hit on some drunk girl in a place, you know, and then they go have sex with her. And that is a huge thing to put stuff out of balance. Like so many things go out of balance from that, like how you affect other people. And it's just a lot of things. And people think like, oh, well, you know, that's just no big deal. Well, I think it's part of why some of these things are going to be kind of shriveling up in our society because of stuff like that. Like people taking advantage of people, taking advantage of situations. It just puts everything on a balance. And we are the ones who have to see how to get things into balance, how to keep things in balance, not go for drama and you know, these supercharged, dramatic, adrenaline flooding events or something. We have to find joy and peace. We have to just, it's about finding this peace, tranquility. And I just see that the future is going to be so much more peaceful. And so when we get to that place of where we're headed, for however long it takes us to get there, once we get there, it's going to be a beautiful place. And all of this will have been worth it. Doesn't seem like like right now, but eventually this will all have been worth it. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.